Okay, back at it today. I got this in the paint booth. Got it up on the blocks, the skate blocks. So it's at a reasonable height to paint. I have masked it off. I threw the wheel drapes on. Just threw a drop cloth inside for right now. And tried to mask off the grill best I can. Yeah, I'm relatively happy with all of that. I've got to sweep the room out one more time, clean up all my debris, and get it wiped down one more time with wax and grease remover. I hit it when I put it in here last night. It was awful humid last night, so I hit it again first thing this morning with wax and grease. I'm going to do it one more time right before I paint. So the first coat will be the black epoxy. I'm going to hit it with that first, get that squared away, get 2 good coats of black epoxy. I've got a fairly aggressive tooth on the body right now, and I think it should hold it pretty well. I wouldn't do that if I was kind of use thinner primers, but where I'm using a high build primer, I'm pretty, I want everything to really bite well. So yeah, you can actually see where I put some tape there. So that needs to be wiped off. Very humid today. Temperature in here is very reasonable, 67-ish, 68. Pretty good. So I'm gonna wipe this down one more time, get it all happy. I'll sweep first, wipe it down, then I'll mix up my first batch of epoxy. Now, one of the things I lost a little sleep over was, how do you jack this thing up this high? And I went and bought this contraption here. It's just a Harbor Freight Daytona low profile long reach jack with the crossbar. Worked out slick. It's a pretty high setup to start with, but I just jacked up the car, put it on jack stands first, then put this under the front and rear, and lifted it right up, no problems. So that took no time at all, worked out great. So yeah, that's my plan. I'm gonna hit this first with epoxy, 2 coats, then primer, 2 to 3 coats, depending on how it's going on. Everything else looks pretty good and ready to go. Like I said, I did scuff it down one more time this morning with a 3M pad, just to make sure that I didn't have any flash rust starting to develop. But yeah, that's the plan. Wipe it one more time, shoot it. All right, got in a bit of a tear there. I shot the black epoxy. This is what I used, just DTM epoxy from Summit. I shot it with the black. It's a 1-to-1 with catalyst. I put about a 10% reducer in it, a little less, maybe 5 to 10%. Just enough to get it to lay flatter and be less coarse on the surface. And that all worked out pretty good. I put on 2 good heavy coats, medium wet to heavy, and it went on beautifully. So no issues at all. I don't see any runs or dirt or anything in it. So looking pretty good right now. I'm gonna let this flash off well and get ready to hit it with the polyester. High build primer, and put it all in gray. So yeah, this actually, even with this black, the body looks pretty damn good, even when it was shiny. High school mic, this would have been done, but today's mic is a little different. So we're gonna work this out. I'm gonna let this flash off well. I shot the tail panel last, but almost put a 3rd coat on that just so I had a good point to judge my my flash and primer. So I'm gonna give this maybe 20-30 minutes till I can no longer, until the epoxy sets right up good. So, but it looks good. I'm very happy with what we've got so far. I hit the dash and the windshield frame and the door top and the quarter tops, so that all that stuff that gets painted interior will have the same base as the exterior. So, there we go. Oh, is that a bug? No. Better not be. Anyway, there'd be some bug in here doing the backstroke in it. That would be normal. Anyway, looking good. Pretty happy with this so far. I'll show you what I'm into for the polyester product that I chose. It's kind of neat. But again, I like to put a good black epoxy seal coat down. The polyester that I got says you don't necessarily need to do that. You can shoot it directly to metal. I just would rather have epoxy under there. That way also when I'm doing body work, if I burn through the primer and I start to see black, I stop. And you know, when I'm blocking it out. So just kind of keep everything on an even keel. That's the plan. So far so good. Not bad at all. And this is the Optex Superbuild 4:1. It's a color changing, so you don't need a guide coat. It sprays on pink, and as you sand it, it turns gray, leaving any low spots pink. And you can pick out your high spots quickly and then work down to low. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. This is a very high build product, and I've never used it before. I've read a lot about it, watched a lot of YouTube. Gonna shake it here for a while, get it suspended, and we'll go from there. One thing that this primer does recommend you do is for these disposable paint cups, just take a razor blade and carefully cut the little filter out of the top of the lid. This is a very, very fine mesh last chance filter, and this material is just a little too thick for it. So the data sheet recommends that you just, carefully cut those filters out, set it aside, and you should be good. So I'm still shaking the can, should be ready to go shortly. I've got to go check the body, see if we're ready, and then I'll bring you back. It's pink or purple or whatever, and boy, it smells like Bondo. It smells like body filler. So I guess I didn't put that together. Basically, you thin down body filler and spray her on. Hey, interesting. We'll see what happens. So I've got here just a cheap Harbor Freight, cheapest gun they have. And I drilled out the tip to 2 millimeters. So this is a 2 millimeter gun, perfect for high builds or super high build. This is gonna come out of here like, I don't know, cotton candy, who knows. But this rig is ready to go. Like I said, I just took a cheap gun. It's not 1.4 as the tip says. I drilled it out to 2 millimeter, and yeah, it'll work fine, of course. Hey, Juby's on. So, what a mess. So yeah, I got the primer on. It is like spraying Bondo. It smells like Bondo. It looks like Bondo. It actually goes on okay. There's more texture to it than I thought there would be. I kind of expected it to lay flatter. You can see there's, well, I guess you'd have to call it orange peel, but it's on so thick, I don't think that's a problem. It'll block out. But that's the whole idea. You get it to this level and then you can start blocking stuff out. I did the upper bumper reinforcement as well, just because that was kind of pitted and I wanted to see what it looked like on pitted material. But yeah, it's pink. It's very pink. But I've got 3 coats on it. Did the best I could. We'll see how it goes. The stuff sprays amazing. I mean, it goes on nice. It doesn't even want to try to run, unlike the epoxy or anything else. But there's no runs in that either. So I think I got a good base here. I'm going to let this dry for a period of time, probably a week, just because this stuff will shrink up and harden better. So I'm going to just let it be. Let it be. So Anyway, pretty happy with what I got so far. Hopefully it will block out and do what I expect it to do from here on out. And if not, then we'll just have a lot of blocking to do. But it's thick. It's very thick. I bet there's close to 10, 15 thou laying on there, maybe even more. But yeah, I think it's 8 thou per coat, and there's 3 coats. So there you go, 24 thou. So there's probably close to 20 thou on there reliably. I will, I'm going to take and just, like I said, I'm going to let it sit for a few days, probably close to a week. They say it's ready for sanding in 2 hours. I'd eat my hat if that was true. But it needs to sit. So I've got it sealed up. Everything's sealed. Everything's going to look good from here. I can now take and sand this and block it out, start my bodywork process, and get that all done. So I'm feeling pretty good. It's late. Well, you can see Juby's on, so it's about 7 o'clock. I've been up here all day long, just prepping and painting and priming. Epoxy and prime is what we got through today. So again, this is the high build from 4-to-1 high build. Superbuild 4-to-1 from Evercoat. So anyway, that's about it for today. I've had it. I'm going to go get something to eat and watch the rest of Juby's show. And we'll talk to you later.